What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Back with another video. All right, y'all. We already knew this was coming. We knew this was coming with the tariffs, Avengers Doomsday script not being completed, and they're already in production. But how can you be in production when the script is not even done? So we already knew this was coming, right? The original release dates for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars was May 1st, 2026 for Avengers Doomsday and December 18th for Avengers Secret Wars. Now it's being pushed back. Avengers Doomsday is being pushed back to December 18th, 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars is being pushed back, I think, December 21st, 2027. All right. We all knew this was coming. All right. They don't have a script. It's not complete. They're trying to make sure it's perfect, and I don't blame them. I would do the same thing, push it back 7 months, so you can make the film good. You got about 30 some actors, probably more, that's gonna be in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. All right, the script has to be on point. You can't put out bullshit, right? That's why I said in my previous video, just sometimes some things just don't make any sense. You're rushing to put out a film because of the hype around it. But you're gonna have to delay it now because everything is not together. And this is a good thing, not a bad thing, because you don't want to put out a bad film with all these actors and it flops. It doesn't make any money at the box office. And you want to make money at the box office. Now, despite these delays, they got to get this timeline on point. You know, Rushing to put out Spider-Man before Avengers Doomsday doesn't make any sense. You got to get the timeline back on point. Because the past 4 or 5 years, y'all already know it's been nothing but chaos with Disney putting out these crazy TV shows and all this type of stuff. So this is a perfect time, perfect chance to get everything correct. Now, my thing is this: while there is a delay, and yes, the new Avengers, Thunderbolts just came out, right? And you've seen what happened with that film. Some people said it was good. Some people said it was trash. You know, Trying to beat box office numbers and all this type of stuff. You see what happened. You know, they still pushing it till this day, trying to say that, we grossed over 385 million. It doesn't matter. My thing is this: you have from June 2025 to December 2026, right? What films are going to come out, between within that time? Are there any secret films that are still in the works, between that time? Now, I'm going to say this cuz I'm a Blade fan. I love Blade, right? They still have time. Now, I believe a Blade film or some type of film, Ghost Rider, whatever, right? There still needs to be a film put out before Avengers Doomsday. Just me personally, just in my opinion, I think there is a film in the works. They're just not saying it, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Sometimes you want to keep things private until it's time to really put it out there. Now, this is just. I'm not saying that, because they said it was pushed back or delayed. They said Blade was delayed, right? But here's the thing. Let's just say, for instance, Blade is still being worked on, right? But it's being worked on in secret, right? Because sometimes you don't want to, like I said, sometimes you don't want to put stuff out there to the media because then everybody's gonna run with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Blade or Ghost Rider or whatever, because they want to make Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars great films, right? They have to have something to fill those. They have to have something to fill the gaps, right? Because you got all these characters. You know, who's gonna get? a new film. I would say Mahershala Ali, is still on the table to play Blade. That's just me. From looking at the Jurassic Park trailer, and seeing how big he is, seeing how buff Mahershala Ali is. I think that film is still in the works. It's just kept secret. Now, this is my thing. A script could probably be done by it's finna be June. So I would say a script probably be done by like August, right? But let's just say a script is done by August, right? And and they don't start filming this Blade film until like September. They don't in production. Let's say they in production in like February 2026, right? That's when they start post production, trying to get the film edited and all that type of stuff, right? It's February. They don't drop a trailer till probably like, let's just say May 2026. They drop a trailer, right? That's February, March, April, May. That's you got 4 months to put a trailer out. Put a trailer out in May or put a trailer out in June. You don't release the film till August or September. June, July, August. So September, October is when a film should be released. Some secret film should be released September, October, right? 2026 to get the hype for Avengers Doomsday. Because Avengers Doomsday is gonna come out December 18th, 2026, right? 7 months later, right? Before the original release. So I still think Mahershala Ali is on the table, or Wesley Snipes is still on the table. It's just put in secret. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows about this a secret film. You know, because that's how I would do it. Now, even though I know a lot of people are saying, Blade is gone, Blade is done. Ryan Coogler just put out Sinners. There's no reason for him to, put out another vampire flick. Who else are you gonna put on this? Or a secret Ghost Rider, whatever, right? Something still needs to fill the gap, you know. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Yeah, Avengers Doomsday Secret Wars is delayed indefinitely. But like I said before, we already knew this was coming due to the tariffs, due to the script. It's just a rush. Everything was just rushed. You got to get everything back in line. So how are they going to keep that hype? My thing is, how are they going to keep that hype alive for Avengers Doomsday? Because, like I said, you got a lot of actors that's going to be put in these films. So, what's going to be worked on between time? But that's it, y'all. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What you think? Yeah, y'all. Y'all be good.